Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Calibrate Tools DIY channel. Come on in and say hi. And we're going to have a good conversation tonight. How's everybody's day been? How has everybody's day been today? Well, I had an interesting day today. I certified some kids in a continuation school. They got certified in welding. They got their welding certificate today at the nonprofit that I'm a part of, and I'm proud of them. One of the students was a 13-year-old girl. She got her American Welding Society certification in MIG welding. Can you believe that? 13 years old. Okay. Um, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of all the kids that came through. They stuck it out and they got their certification. Now they can go out into the world, you know, and have something under their belt where they can go out and, work, make a living, provide for their families. Okay. And mind you, this was a continuation. This is a continuation school. Okay. So it's not like a regular high school. So some of these kids have issues. Some of them come from very troubled backgrounds. Okay. So they were able to come into the program, come into the mobile trailer, learn welding, and get a certificate. Right. So just give them a hand for that. So, yeah, that was my day. And then came back and did some more fabricating work, working on a second trailer, a second mobile trailer that we're building out, a second mobile welding trailer that we're building out at the nonprofit. Nonprofit, by the way, is called Reignite Hope, and we go around the city in Southern California training people how to weld, right? And it's not even it's a free program. It's a free program. Okay, you just have to have the desire to learn and want to make something of yourself. So yeah, it's not the only program out there, but there are other programs that do the same thing. And so yeah, that's how my day went. And we have another class. We rotate classes. Hey, how you doing, Cha girl? Happy Tuesday to you as well. Happy Tuesday to you as well, Cha girl, and everybody else watching right now. I was just telling them about my day and how we graduated some students at a continuation school, and we gave them their welding certificate. Now, and once again, some of these students, they come from very troubled backgrounds, and and it was good to see them earn something, right? Earn something that the reward is that they once they get the certificate, you can see the pride in their face that they accomplished something. And hey, it's nothing like that. Cha girl, working and listening. Yeah, thank you, Cha girl. Yeah, that's how the day went. And we got more graduations coming up soon because we rotate classes throughout the year. Okay. So how's everybody else doing? Come on in the chat. How's your day, Cha girl? Come on in the chat and say hi. Tell me how your day was. You don't have to get into specifics, but good, bad. Hope everything went well for you guys. Hope you had a good 3-day weekend. Hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, and then tell us how your day went. Then we're gonna jump into the subject. What you should look for in these shady contractors out there in the world taking your money and running off. If you got a story to tell, if you saw the title and you want to chime in, come on in and chime in. And Mr. Harris, L. Harris, how you doing? Did your wife come back? All right, Mr. Harris, good to see you, man. That's good, Cha. Oh, your birthday is Friday, so there you go, Cha. Well, happy birthday. If we don't talk, let's give Cha a happy early birthday. Let's give Cha girl a happy early birthday. She's probably turning 27. Hey, Alejandro, how you doing? I'm good, man. I'm good over here at Calibrate Tools and DIY, man. Just trying to educate and connect with my audience, man. That's why I started doing these lives. I said I'll come on here and connect with my peeps, man. Good to see you, Alejandro, man. Always good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so today we're gonna, I'm gonna go down a list of things that you should you should do to avoid some contractors, shady contractors out there. Okay. They got people out there taking your money, man. And it ain't funny, right? Right. So I'm gonna read a little bit of a story. I was, an article about a contractor, and I'm gonna kind of stop as I read to discuss some of the points they make, right? About what to look for. Okay. This is a story that I came across, and I was kind of laughing. I shouldn't even be laughing at it, but it's very serious, man. Like, if you're ignorant of how to deal with contractors and how to vet contractors, the world is full of people that just want to come out there and take your money. They just want to take your money and run, right? So here we go. We had been here's one. We have been talking off and on with the salesman for about a year, and also heard their constant ads on AM talk radio as being the number one remodeling firm in the city. So that's that. Okay, when you hear people say, "Okay, we're the number one," okay, watch out. Anytime anybody says they're the number one anything, you gotta kind of say, huh, really? Okay. So they said they deliver quality workmanship of the highest standards. Okay. Committed to providing the highest level of customer service. All right. And this is what you got to watch out for. Anytime you hear ads like that, that's what they're going to say. Of course, they're going to say that. They're selling you, right? They're selling you. But you got to dig deeper. You can't just, pick up the phone and dial them and say, hey, yeah, come check this out. All right. So here's what it says. Be leery of those contractors who advertise heavily, particularly on these radio shows. Okay. It becomes a numbers game with them. Okay. Getting as many projects going, raking in the bucks with your project likely to suffer. The true master builders do not advertise, and they take on a limited amount of projects at any given time so that they can truly deliver quality and craftsmanship, resulting in real customer satisfaction. Okay. You hear that, guys? If somebody's really good at what they do, they don't necessarily have to promote themselves so heavily. Now, there is value in promotion. Yes, you got to advertise, right? But there's a fine line between, heavily advertising your stuff, right, versus just, promoting your stuff, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes, we got to learn the hard way, right? We got to learn the hard way. But I'm just trying to point out some things to look for and take heed of when when looking for a contractor. If they're advertising so heavily, they're on the radio every hour, every just that. Okay, they may be good, they may be quality, but if they're so quality, they don't necessarily need to do all that advertising like that. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at some other things we should look for when it comes to finding a contractor. Okay. You should always shop around. Always shop around. Okay. You should always get estimates from at least 3 contractors. All right. At least 3 of them. Okay. And always, that lets the other contractors know, hey, this guy right here, he's doing his homework. He's not just jumping on everything I say. Right. Always shop around. Get 3 estimates, and you can from different contractors, and you can make your choices from there. And don't settle for the cheapest offer either. Don't settle for the cheapest offer. Why shouldn't you settle for the cheapest offer? Well, it's simple. Why is it so cheap? They may not be providing quality work. Okay. So you got to look out for that. Sometimes it's better to pay a little more, because everybody's lowballing each other out here in the market. Okay. But if somebody's lowballing you so much that, undercutting everybody else, guess what? The work is not going to be quality. Guaranteed. It's not going to be quality. Yep, guys. If I go back and forth to the chat, I'm just trying to give this information out here now. But so if you keep on coming in the chat and responding, and and giving us your take on things, and I'll get to you. Okay. All right. Number 3, get a detailed budget estimate. Get a detailed budget estimate. All right. Why should you do that? Because sometimes there's a lot of hidden costs. There's a lot of hidden costs in what they quote you, right? So if they quote you one thing, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the final cost. Because once you get the final invoice, you'll see all these hidden costs that they didn't tell you about. So before the work even starts, you want to get a detailed estimate of every little line item that they're supposed to do for you. Okay. Check the contractors. Check their reputation. Check their reputation. Okay. That's pretty much a no-brainer. Okay, guys. Anybody selling anything out there, promoting themselves, you want to make sure that they're legit. All right. So every time, we always look at reviews when we're buying a product, right? Well, we should look at reviews when we're dealing with people that's going to work on our house and going to charge us thousands of dollars, right? That's pretty simple right there. Ask for references. Always ask for references if you can. If you can get references, go out there and get them. Okay, because you may find out that this guy's not even legit. He may not even, he could have that ties into the last one. His reputation can be so soiled, his reputation can be so bad that his references are garbage. So always look for that. Cha-Cha Girl, read reviews. Absolutely. Read the reviews, guys. Read the reviews. And some of these guys, they pay some of these companies to put good reviews on online. So that's another thing you got to look for as well. All right. Ask them about their business. Talk to them. Find out about them. How their responses to your questions when it comes to work. Okay, is it a passionate response? Are they passionate about their work? Are they going into more detail, about the work that you didn't ask about? But still, you still got to be careful because they may be overselling themselves as well, right? But if you can tell they have an innate passion for what they do, then that's a good sign. Okay. If they're just kind of mediocre and I don't know, you might want to think about that. All right. Get them to look around and talk about, the project that you want them to do and see what their feedback is on it. If they know what they're talking about, then that's also a good sign, right? Because sometimes you have a contractor out there and he does a lot of subcontracting. He doesn't necessarily do the work. He may be a general contractor and he subcontracts out to other guys that actually know how to do the work. So, but if you have a general contractor, a GC that actually can look at a project and say, okay, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. You need to take that off, blah, blah, blah. Then, that's also a good sign that he knows what he's talking about as well. All right. Insurance. What kind of insurance do they carry? That's another question. You guys wasn't expecting that, right? What kind of insurance do these contractors carry? Right? Very important, right? Because if something goes wrong, guess what? It's going to land on you. Right? And by the way, you should always have insurance just in case. Just in case. And get familiar with a lot of scams out there. Like what I would do is I'd go online. If I have a major project that I need to get done, I would go online and familiarize myself with scams in the construction industry, scams in the contracting industry. Read about them. Do research on them. Okay, know what to look for. What are the most common scams when it comes to construction or contractors? What do they do? Right. Okay, getting the money up front. All the money up front are asking for like 30, 40, 50% of the job, right? Before they start. That's a big sign right there. You should be paying at least no more than 10%. Okay, no more than 10% of the job. Prairie Girl Life Notes. Hey, I'm glad you guys are congratulating Cha-Cha Girl on her birthday coming up on Friday. Prairie Girl Life Notes. You should always get construction insurance. Absolutely, Prairie Girl Life Notes. Also get their current general liability insurance and workers' compensation. You know what? I need to bring Perry Girl Life Notes on the show. Uh, maybe I need to fly her out or something. Come on the show and break it down and get a specialist when it comes to this stuff. Hey, Cha Cha Girl, no problem. We all look out for each other here at the Caliber 8 and DIY channel. Right, Mr. Harris? Yes, sir. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of scams out there. You want to be careful. You want to be careful, and you want to know what to look for. Okay, you want to know what to look for, and very important. All right. So let's talk about what if you hire a contractor and they mess up and they disappear into the the woodworks, right? No pun intended. Disappear into the woodworks contractors, of course. Okay, there's a couple things you can do. All right. If your contractor, if you notice that they're messing up, okay, just stop paying them. Stop shelling out money. That's a good way to get them to stop. Unfortunately, they may have done such a bad job or done so much damage that you might have to repair it. But just cut them off right there. Once you get a sign that they're shafting you, just cut them off. Stop paying them. Stop giving them money, because their whole thing is to string you along and say, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. Repair stuff that doesn't even need to be repaired. So they end up tearing down stuff and all that. You're out thousands of dollars. Okay. The minute you get wind of that happening, just cut them off. Stop paying them. Okay. File a complaint. File a complaint immediately, right? If somebody's taking advantage of you like that, a contractor or so, stop paying them and then immediately file a complaint. Okay. Take it to court if you have to. Yeah, those are the three main things you should do. Okay, you got to protect yourself out here. There's a lot of scavengers and vultures out here in the contracting world. Okay, report them. Like I said, report them to if they're a licensed contractor, get their license snatched. Get their license snatched. So, any of you guys had any experience with a bad contractor? Let me know in the chat. Any of you guys had any bad experiences with a bad contractor? Because believe you me, they're out there. Okay, they are out there. All right. Let me see here. I want to read more of that article of that contracting story. Alejandro said he worked for a bad contractor before. Man, so were you subcontracting for him, Alejandro, or were you an actual employee of his, or you were just subcontracted to do the work? And when you noticed that, and when you found out he was a bad contractor, what'd you do? Did you stick around? Did you stick around, or did you get out of there? Because then now you're talking about ethics, right? Would you work for a bad contractor if you knew he was a bad contractor, taking advantage of taking advantage of people? Would you stick around if you're a subcontractor? If you're subcontracted by this guy or girl, would you stick around? Oh yeah, okay. He never paid you. Of course he never paid you. There you go. You left. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. Alejandro said he left. He got up out of there. Once he realized he wasn't getting paid, he was gone. He was gone. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So come on in the chat. Come on in the chat. Tell us your horror story. Tell us your horror story about the contract, about a contractor or project that you had somebody work on and they shafted you, or they did a bad job and you end up having to pay thousands of dollars. So you took a hit, you took a loss. You did the right thing, Alejandro. You left, regardless how big or small the job is. First of all, the guy didn't pay you. Okay, so that's the reason to leave right there. But what if he was paying you, and you know he was taking advantage of the customer? Would you stick around? That's an ethics question right there. Would you stick around? And he was paying you good money, but you know he was taking advantage of the customer because he knew the customer had money. No, sir, absolutely. You know, but that stuff comes back on you. Definitely comes back on you. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So that's a few things to look for. Okay, that's a few things to look for when you're out there and you don't want to do it yourself because some things you can't do yourself, right? Some things you don't want to do yourself, but you want to get you want to get somebody that's that you can trust to do it for you. And but that's not so easy these days, right? Everybody's trying to scam each other. Everybody's trying to get in each other's pockets, right? And sometimes these are people you know. It could be a family member. It can be somebody close to you. It could be a friend, right? But when everybody's trying to eat, it can be a dog eat dog world out there. Yes, yeah, Perry girl, get references. L. Harris said he signed a bad contract. What contract was that, L. Harris? Yeah, you should always do. Check their go online and check the references, check the reputation, look at the reviews. Okay, and if they're asking for 30, 40, 50% up front, run as fast as you can. Okay, run as fast as you can. You should never be paying 30, 40, 50% before they start the job. That's a true sign of a shisty individual. You know. Yeah, guys. By the way, this live is once again sponsored by the ExactTac picture hanging tool. Okay, the flagship product of the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. All right, that's our flagship product. We have more products coming online pretty soon. We're getting ready to um, launch our website, calibrate.com. Okay, but right now we have uh, our flagship product. Hold on a second. I'll show you what it is right now. This is the ExactTac picture hanging tool, guys. This is our flagship product. Okay, a lot of hard work went into this. Put it online, and guess what? Got copied. It got copied. It got knocked off. Why? Because it was selling like hotcakes, and that's what they do. Okay, anytime they see something selling, they get on there and they snatch it and they copy it and they knock it off. But rebranding it here, made in America. Okay, it's a picture hanging device. www.exactac.com. Check it out. Support the channel. Get you one. Okay, it's also a great gift item. Okay, I'll type it in the chat for you guys. Come on in and tell us about your contractor horror stories. Okay, everybody's at least knows about one. If you haven't had one, most people know about them, and they happen during like times of disaster, like hurricanes or earthquakes, and where the contractors come out of the woodwork. It's a feeding frenzy, and man, that's especially when those things happen. That's when they come out. Okay, housing booms, when when it's a lot of home building going on. That's when they come out and feast. They come out and feast on you guys, on us. Alejandro is asking, "Are you a truck driver?" Wow, I will buy one next week for sure. Yeah, Alejandro. Yeah, I've been driving for a long time. I've been driving for a long time. Are you getting a new one or a used one? Okay, because that's another video, but truck. I mean, that's another live. But yeah, the trucking world is crazy right now, man. You know, very good life notes. I have a friend that her home had a latent defect and she had no idea. Ah, yeah, yeah, that's another thing. If they got shady inspectors. Everybody, unfortunately, a lot of people are on the take, right? They got inspectors on the take. They even got, unfortunately, subcontractors on the take. Of course, shady contractors themselves. But when the inspector is on the take and they getting kickbacks, guess what, man? You could end up buying a lemon and not even know it. And not even know it. Plumbing disaster. Yeah. 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 I remember a lady, she had bought a house, and the plumbing leading to her kitchen, it wasn't even pipes. It was a water hose. Can you believe that? It was a water hose. L. Harris, I released the landlord of damages and theft of my belongings. Really? So your belongings got stolen? And L. Harris, your belongings got stolen. What happened there? That sounds like another issue. Yeah, but man, yeah, but when the inspector comes in and they're on the take, they're getting paid. They know the contractors because a lot of times they all know each other and they all support each other, right? And a contractor will call the inspector that he pays under the table to come inspect his work and give him a pass, right? Even though the work is shoddy, and if you're not familiar with how construction or anything like that and all the regulations and the codes, guess what? You wouldn't know any different. You wouldn't know any better, and you end up with a lemon. And when you get ready to sell the house, and a real inspector comes in, an honest inspector comes in and looks at everything before you put it into escrow or whatever, and says, no, 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 no. Or the buyer sends the has somebody come look at the house. It's like, you're out of gas, right? So you might want to, I don't know, you might want to find a way to vet the inspector as well, right? Because a lot of times in the same city, contractors and inspectors, they deal with each other all the time, and they know each other. And unfortunately, that lower element in human beings, they say, okay, let's see what we can get out of this person. They look like they got some money, right? Next thing you know, boom. Alejandro said, my father was his own boss for over 30 years. He was an owner operator of dump trucks. He had employees and several subcontractors. I even worked for him. I ended up being construction foreman. Hey, that's great, Alejandro. When you have, a father who's his own boss, an entrepreneur who can teach you the ropes, man. Did he have Super 10 dump trucks? Because the dump truck game it can be pretty profitable. I know guys out there driving dump trucks, man. They're making $80 an hour. A lot of times you're just sitting at the site waiting to get loaded. $80 an hour, sometimes 90. I don't know what the rates are right now, but yeah, you get a fleet of dump trucks out there, and there's a project going on in the city. You could rack up. And I tell guys, look, you don't have to be the driver, man. You can buy the truck. You can, incorporate the business and Hire a driver. Cha-Cha Grill. Isn't that what happened in Florida when those luxury apartments collapsed? Everyone was on the take. Yeah. I don't know too much about the Florida thing, but I do remember when those luxury apartments collapsed. That was last year or something like that, right? Yeah. Um, of course. That's like a feeding frenzy. It's just like ambulance chases, right? Lawyers that, that prey on accident victims and stuff like that. It's in every industry. Alejandro said, yeah, 18 wheelers. Yep. Yep. The trucking game can be very profitable, right? But it's also and your dad, I'm sure he knows, it's very risky, man. You got to have insurance. You got to be able to budget your money. You got to be able to, have good cash flow management, right? Because in the trucking game, like I said, I've been driving for a pretty long time. Things are going to happen, guaranteed. Accidents are going to happen, whether it's your fault or the other person's fault. Uh, things are going to break down. Yeah, things are going to break down, man. And you got to have money, or you're going to get flat tires. And you got to have money to be able to send the tire man out to fix the truck when it's sitting on the side of the freeway, like 60 miles away, and all that stuff. You got to have all that stuff. You got to have the cash for that, you know. But when it's hot, it's hot. Right now they got a lot of loads still sitting on ships out there, so things are kind of slow right now. I do a lot of port drayage work, hauling containers out of the ports and stuff. So yeah, Cha Cha Girl, you're right. I'm sure there was a lot. Like I said, anytime some kind of disaster happens, all the shady contractors come out of the woodwork trying to get your money. Okay, and that's just how it goes. Okay, just like you drop blood in the water, guess what? All the sharks are gonna come. All the sharks are gonna come. Glad you guys showed up. I really appreciate you guys showing up, supporting the channel, showing some love. This is my I think this is my third or fourth live. You know, third or fourth live, and I like connecting with you guys. Mm. Yeah, so guys, chime on in and tell us some of your horror stories. Hit the like button. I don't want to sound like the average YouTuber. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. But that's what spreads the message here. So go ahead on and give it a thumbs up, and that helps. That helps the videos get to more people. Okay, share the live. Talk. Let people know about Calibrate and DIY, Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Um, anything helps. Anything helps. Smash the like button. Exactly, Alejandro. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's talk about some of the things you shouldn't say to a contractor. Okay. Purdy do. You didn't miss anything. We're just talking about how you know how you should vet contractors, right? Because they got a lot of shady contractors out there. And if you have a story about a shady contractor you've dealt with, Purdy do, let us know. Talk about it. Tell us what happened. Um, they come out of the woodwork anytime there's a disaster or anything like that. It's a feeding frenzy. Okay. And you should be prepared. It's like going to war, you should be prepared, right? What do you look for? What do you look for? How do you spot one? How do you spot one? Okay. All right, here's some things you should never tell a contractor. You should never tell them that they're the only one that you talk to so far. Okay, don't tell them that, because if you tell them that, then they pretty much got you, right? They can tell you anything. You haven't done your research. You should get at least 3 estimates. All right. In negotiations, you should always tell them that you're talking to multiple people, right? And that way they got to be on their p's and q's about what they tell you, because they don't know if you know the going price for this project or not. So never tell them that. Don't tell them your budget. Okay. Don't tell them what your budget is either. And don't tell them you're not in a hurry, because if you tell them you're not in a hurry, guess what? They're going to take this sweet time, and it's going to be months before they get it done. Okay. Not only it gives them an opportunity to keep upselling you on different things you need to do. It's kind of like a bad mechanic, right? A mechanic trying to take advantage of you. You take your car to the shop. Next thing you know, they're telling you, okay, you need this done, you need that done, you need this done. Well, it's the same. It's the same with a contractor. They'll tell you things that you don't even need to fix, just to fleece you and get more money out of you. Birdie Doo says, I work for Lowe's. I saw all of them shady fools pick up materials. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, man. You probably have some insight, right? And insight on how these guys think. Working in those environments, man. I go to Home Depot more than I go to Lowe's, but I get you. I get you. All right, let's see here. They always bid low and never put anything in writing. Very good point. Very good point, Purdy Do. Once again, if they're bidding too low, that's a sign, right? If they're lower than everybody else, guess what? You're gonna get what you paid for. Okay. So if they're so cheap, guess what? You're gonna get cheap work. Right? Always get stuff in writing as well. Here's one. Do not let a contractor choose the materials. Okay. Don't let them choose the materials, right? Like it's always good to you buy the materials yourself, right? Not only does it save you some money, right? But if you let them choose the materials, guess what? They're going to choose probably the cheapest materials they can find, and still charge you uh, charge you more than what the materials actually cost. And if you don't get a receipt and you don't know how to judge the materials themselves, or look at the materials and price the materials, then guess what? They got you right there. Perry Life Notes, having a look over their promises of delivery. Have a look over their promises of delivery. Absolutely. You should have a look at, first of all, you should have everything in writing. They should have contracts ready for you to sign and get their signature as well. And like you said, look at the promises of delivery, right? The time schedules for everything, right? When is this going to be done? When is that going to be done? And if they violate the terms of the contract, that's they breach the contract, and that's you have every right to get to cut them loose. You can cut them loose anytime you want, but if you sign the contract, and maybe they can countersue you if you do so. So you got to be careful there, right? You don't want to breach the contract either, right? But if you find that they're breaching the contract, they don't keep up on their time schedules, and there's all kinds of delays and this and that, and you have something in writing that you can take to court and pursue it in court. Get some arbitration going there. That's why you always got to have something in writing, guys. Okay. Don't shake hands. You don't want to have no gentleman's agreement where you just shake hands and say, yeah. The guy could be very friendly and, oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, no. I got it. No, no, it's not like that. We're not friends. Okay. I don't know you. This is purely a business transaction. I need this done. I'm not trying, I'm not saying be rude to the person, but don't let them pull that charm on you where you end up uh, shaking hands and agreeing and all that stuff. Even with a family member, right? Get it in writing. Purdy Do said, not unless you like the thrift store surprise or scratch and busted. Gotcha, man. Well, as they say, Mickey Mouse job. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, guys, you got to be careful out there. You got to be careful out there, okay? That's why, if you can, learn how to do a lot of these things yourself. Study on it. See if there's something you want to approach, a project that you want to approach, and if you can't, you think it's beyond you. Vet vet the contractor. Vet these companies. Go online, check out, get reviews, references, all that stuff. If they come up, if you meet the person, feel them out. Right? Are they passionate about what they do? Right? Do they give you more details than you ask for? Okay. There are certain things that you can just feel out with a person and see if they're genuine, right? Now, some people are good at fooling you, but if you do your due diligence, you can't really blame yourself. You can say, okay, I did did what I can. I did what I thought was best to vet this person, and I still got shafted. Well, Very Girl Life Notes, thank you for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $20 super chat, and supporting the channel. Okay. Purdy Do. There you go. Purdy Do brought up a very good point. Permitting. Yes. You want to make sure that they're well versed in the permits. I did talk about inspections. I did talk about the inspectors and how some of the inspectors are on the take as well. And but yeah, do they know the right permits? Right. Sometimes you got to do the research. Right. Ask them about the permits that you need to complete that job. Right. Because you don't want to go ahead and complete a job and then find out later from code enforcement that you got to tear it down because it wasn't up to code or you violated a permit. A good contractor will stick to the permits and not have to have you go through all that. Clay, first of all, Clay Furious, welcome to the chat. Thank you for coming in and supporting the channel here, Clay. Should you ever trust those guys hanging out around Home Depot? Look, man, I'm not going to talk bad about anybody. Some of those guys are very good craftsmen, and they know what they're doing, right? But once again, you're taking a risk. A lot of those guys are not licensed. Okay, so you may not have a recourse if something goes wrong or they do a shoddy job. You may not have recourse, right? Because a lot of them are not even in the system to even pursue, right? I mean, let's face it, you're taking a chance. All right. Permits are important. Don't let the GC tell you it's not needed. Absolutely, Girl Life Notes. Just like Purdy Do brought up the point of permitting. A shady general contractor will try to skip over permits, right? Because they don't want to go through the hassle of getting them, right? They just want your money. Purdy Do said to Clay, "No, don't trust those guys." Purdy Do would know. Perry Girl Life Notes, had a friend that thought she had permits, and when she went to sell it, the city had her to tear the extra room down. Exactly. Right? She thought she had permits, but you know, she probably didn't even look at it, know what to look at. Like I said, the contractor probably told her, you know, that she had, you know, she had the right permits, and she just believed it. Oh yeah, yeah, permits are taken care of. Don't worry about it, ma'am. Now she tries to sell it. Now she has to tear everything down. Just, you know, ridiculous. But how can you sign a contract with them? Cha Cha Girl asks. I wouldn't trust it. You know, I'm a big, you know, sometimes I think sometimes it's best to hire a lawyer because and spend that extra money, because in the long run, you know, the long run, in the long run, if you hire a lawyer and they look over the contract and say it's legit, or even you know, you have your lawyer meet the contract themselves, and if the contract doesn't have a problem with you bringing legal counsel, that's a good sign, right? Bringing your own independent legal counsel, that's a good sign. But if they have a problem with you bringing legal counsel to look over the contracts, um, then I wouldn't trust that contractor and I wouldn't sign anything. Pretty do. Call your city, county, and ask. They love giving you that list of permits. Good point. Pretty do said, go down to your city or county or call them, and they'll give you the list of permits you need. Thanks for that, Purdy Duke. That's a good point. Hope people are taking notes there. Cha Cha. I was talking about the dudes at. Oh, you were talking about them, the dudes at Home Depot. Yeah, I doubt they have any contracts written up for you to sign. But one thing I gotta respect about the dudes that stand in front of Home Depot, they're, you know, you gotta give them. They're out there, man. They're trying to feed their families, and they're consistent, right? At least they're out there every day. Like maybe not every day, but I understand. I understand the situation, man. Pretty dude lived in Virginia for a while, and the city had little permits for everything, even doing a toilet swap. Only if it was done by a contractor. Wow. Virginia wasn't playing, huh? Paragraph Life Notes. Get a copy of the executed recorded permits before you make the final payment. Another good point from Paragirl Life Notes. Purdy doing Paragirl Life Notes are giving us game, guys. We need to take notes on this stuff because we want to do things ourselves. This is a DIY channel and the tool channel, but hey, some things we got to call the pros in. We got to call the pros in for some things. So we got to understand the other side of everything, right? To make sure that we vet them. Yeah, Cha Cha Girl, they want to work, that's for sure, right? You wouldn't be standing out there 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, or whatever time it is, early in the morning, waiting for people, and sometimes not even go out that day. She said, but Alejandro, yes, they are trying to work. Contractors employ them for way cheap. Absolutely, it's cheap labor, man. It's cheap labor, and not just contractors. Sometimes just people that need, you know, they go to Home Depot or whatever Lowe's, and they need a job done. They pick a guy standing around, you know, to come help them out, right? You know, so what I don't get is I'm thinking if I was standing out there myself, Home Depot would probably kick me out the parking lot. Probably kick me out the parking lot. But yeah, you got to show them, yeah, you know, you got to give them respect in the sense that they're out there trying to work and feed their families, man. You got to respect that at least, right? Yep, you got to respect that at least. Yeah, guys. Clay Furious. Clay, what's happening, man? I brought up the Home Depot guys because I would think they charge less than a GC. Oh, absolutely. They're not licensed. So they're not in a position to charge as much as the GC, right? No, they're not. I would assume most of them are not, because most general contractors are probably riding around in a truck or something, trying to show off. You know, a big truck, a big pickup truck or something. Yeah. Where are you from, Clay Furious? That's an interesting name there. Yeah, yeah, guys. Just a few tips. Just a few tips to keep you guys keep some money in your pockets. I know how it feels to get robbed and taken advantage of, so I figured I'd come on here today and talk about it a little bit. Licensed, bonded, top vetting tools. Okay. Licensed and bonded. That's what Purdy Do said. Cha-Cha Girl, they are cheaper, but they can't be held liable. Absolutely. Like I mentioned before, it's one thing, there's always two sides to everything, right? Like, you hire these guys at Home Depot, you got to, you don't have to pay as much, but then they could disappear into the woodwork, and you never, if they do a bad job, you can't. There's nothing to track them with. You can't track them, right? There's no company. There's nothing like that, and it's like you're out. You're just out money. You're just out. So you always got to weigh the risks, right? Clay Fury said he's from NYC all the way on the east side. Yeah, I used to live in New York. Purdy Do license. Yep. Clay Fury said he'll pay them room by room. Hey Clay, are you in the construction business? Yeah, I was in Brooklyn when I lived out there. Purdy Do said without a license or bond, they aren't insured. Absolutely, they're not insured, guys. So you're taking a risk there. Something happens, they don't have an insurance company to pay you if you sue them or whatever. Okay. Once again, guys, I'm gonna just do a brief recap. Okay, a brief recap. So always, get two or three estimates. Don't just get one. Don't just shop around, guys. It's just common sense there. Clay Furious. Clay Furious says he wants to do some flipping in a less expensive city. Well, yeah, you want to stay away from LA, then you want to stay away from, well, obviously New York, even some parts of Texas. So you got to do some shopping around as far as cities that you want to move to there, Clay. You know, but that whole real estate thing, I think they're expecting a crash. Are they expecting a crash in the real estate industry soon? pretty, pretty dude cracking up over something. Okay. She said Hawaii. Cha girl said Hawaii. Yeah. You want to stay away from those areas, man. All right. Once again, guys, I appreciate you coming in. Supporting the channel. Try to come on here for about at least an hour. I don't want to drag it on too long. Portland is a gutter too. Wow. Never been to Portland. Heard some things about it though. Different kind of people up there. Yeah, Cha Girl, you said I need StreamYard or a call-in. Now, with StreamYard, Cha Girl, give me a couple of advantages of StreamYard besides the call-in feature. Besides the call-in feature. Oh, you're talking about like when you bring them on the screen and you have everybody on the screen in different sections? I can have Paragirl up. I can have you up. I can have Purdy Do up. I can have Clay Furious up. L Harris up on the screen, all on the screen with me talking. All right. I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to. I was planning. I was like, I kept it in my head, but I got so caught up with other things. I had a lot of things to do that I haven't looked into the StreamYard thing yet. Yeah, okay. Got you, Cha Girl. Yeah. I think that's going to be the next move. I'm going to have you guys be able, come up on the screen and we can kick it on the screen. Talk about tools and DIY. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every one of you means a lot to me. How many graduations do you have this week? Oh, I just had this graduation today. Okay. And the next class graduating is going to be in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Alejandro, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Much love. Thank you, Purdy Do. I appreciate that tip. You're right. Bring in experts like county inspectors and put their feet to the fire. Absolutely, right? If they start, they sputtering, then I know something's going on. All right, Clay. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Check me out next time. Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, guys. Come on and support the live. All right, Alejandro, you be safe. Everybody be safe out there, okay? You have a wonderful evening too, Cha Girl. I appreciate you. Y'all take care.